All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. So I told y'all that I was going to give you like the full like in-depth breakdown. So what I don't want to do though is make this video like too long. Like I don't want it to be too long, because honestly I honestly could talk about this like all day long. But I don't want to do that. I may end up breaking this up into like a couple of pieces and get in depth, but look at just kind of like some like key areas, right? All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So what I'm gonna talk about is mainly this, like just how good this trailer was. And I'm gonna start with this first fight between Eddie Hall and David. So there's a couple things that happened in this that I thought were actually like really dope. Secondly, I think what I'm gonna do when I actually cut this video up is I think I'm gonna add in like some real life examples, so y'all can see just how close to it. I know I did it in the last one with Errol Spence and Sean Porter, but I think I'm gonna do that again, just kind of for that like visual. So let's just go ahead
standout features within ESBC.
So the footwork, right? So the fact that he's able to move the way he just did, where he kind of like he came in and then stepped back
features
like
within
real quick. Like look how much distance he created, right? Look how much space he created between him and Eddie Hall. And he did it quick. He did it extremely quick. So the fact that you can move that fast, the fact that you can move that smooth around the ring is going to make for some extremely interesting fights, because controlling space is important, right? I know I talked about it in the last video also, that, you know, boxing starts from the ground up, and everything that you can do with your feet really kind of sets up literally everything else, man. Position is extremely important, but when you look at how quickly he created all of this space here in just a matter of a second, half second, I think is important. If you're getting pressured, how quickly you're going to be able to make that? How fast are you going to be able to move at that type of pace if your stamina bar is low? So things like that, just like in the last one, just want to throw out a couple like questions that I hope that in the future we'll be able to answer. Probably won't be able to until we actually get it in our hands, but like I thought that in itself was special. How much space he created right then.
BC is the movement system that we've developed.
When you look at, and this is probably going to be one of those things where I'm gonna slide in like an actual like video, but because I understand too that everybody's not like a boxing head like that, so I'll throw in a few like real life examples, of course. But that check hook coming out the corner,
we've developed.
Y'all already know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Floyd Mayweather, Ricky Hatton, right? Except for Ricky Hatton's head hit the turnbuckle. But it was smooth. But not only the fact that he can actually throw the check hook, but how he threw the check hook and then moved out of the corner to avoid getting pinned. So again, like, I don't know if people have already been saying it, but there's going to be a lot of IQ required to play this. There's a reason this is called a boxing simulation game, not a boxing arcade game. That arcade stuff is gone. Might as well go ahead and forget about that. The arcade stuff is out the window.
Here you can see David Adelaide,
right? And then he just kind of like lackadaisically like backs up. It's just like pacing is important, and what you see already is just how much you can control your own pace. How well will you be able to control your opponent though? So yes, we like to control space. How well can I control him when I'm fighting? And I'll get to that once we get to the feint portion of this, because that changes the game.
Getting himself out of danger by throwing a nice,
right? Another check hook. But you can actually see, like, as he's like moving backwards, you actually see his head like bobbing up and down.
nicely timed check hook. That in itself is a new
Like
feature
there's
with regards to the
like there's so much like going
self out
on.
of danger by throwing a nicely timed that we've
There's
developed.
so much going on.
Here you
in
can
this
see
one
David
clip.
Adelaide getting himself out of
The
danger.
the head kind of just moving.
Nicely timed
You know,
check hook.
look, it almost looks like he's about to take his glove.
The standout features
and just
within
kinda like,
ESBC
kind of like rub his nose.
system
You know,
that we've
you ever seen a
developed.
fighter get hit and all of
Here
a
you
sudden
can
like they
see
kind of
David Adelaide
touch the spot where they
getting
get hit.
himself out of danger by throwing a nicely timed check hook.
Like
that in itself
the
is
thing about this is that this game has personality, which is huge, because when you're talking about an immersive experience, personality is important, because you are trying to, what the devs are trying to do here, and what they're doing extremely well, is that they are capturing the soul, the personality, and the overall experience of boxing. That is a humongous feat. It's one thing to just have a game where you can stand there and move your upper body, you know what I'm saying? And then you just throwing punches, you like this, and your upper body's moving all crazy, and then everybody's just is rock'em sock'em robots. But in this case, like, these guys move, they move freely. They have attitude almost, and it's like, that's big. Like, that's a big thing to capture.
It's
there.
a new feature with regards to the punch control.
Look at the way he's moving forward.
That means
right? He's kind of relaxed.
Freedom in terms of
He's
your fighting
relaxed,
strategy, fighting off the front
character,
foot,
man. This game
back
has
foot,
a lot
and also
of character.
pivoting yourself
You
out
see
of
the
danger
expression
with
that
check hooks.
Eddie Hall made once he got hit with that check left.
Off the front foot, back foot,
And watch his look at him grimace. You know, like, my man's looking like upset that he got hit, as anybody would
out
be.
of danger with check hooks, using the pressure of your opponent
jab to the neck,
your advantage.
Hit him right in the throat.
Within these clips, you can see the physics system.
Jab 3 times. See, but here. So we all know that jab is the most important punch in all of boxing, right? Jab sets up pretty much everything.
So within these clips,
he hit, and when he threw that jab on the way out, as he was moving backwards.
So within these clips,
so much control there, right? So much control over this space, being able to throw that jab while moving out of range, all at the same time, because being able to throw the jab that way while moving in multiple directions, specifically when moving out, it means that you are going to be able to use that jab to limit as many options as you can, right? And I'm pretty sure the jab ain't the only punch. We'll see that coming up, but the jab ain't the only punch you can throw.
System in action.
Like, literally, you can throw.
Not every punch will be 100% accurate.
Moving in
some
a particular
punches will
direction.
glance off arms, gloves, chest.
Right, jabs to the body.
You can see that with
jabs
the jabs
high.
that have been thrown.
The right hand, right? Right hand hit him while he was moving out.
And you can kind of see that with the jabs that have been thrown.
Extremely important. Like, the amount of control over this space, right? Because ultimately, it's not a boxing match. A match is not just about throwing punches, right? I think we can all understand that by this point. Albeit, there's still going to be some people out there who are just going to be just mashing away, right? They're not going to understand the game yet, and the process and the flow and all that kind of stuff. Boxing is about being able to take away your opponent's greatest ability. It's about being able to control their options while maximizing yours. And it's about hitting and not getting hit. ESBC looks as though you are going to have every bit of that in this game. That is a boxing sim. That means that there is real boxing IQ that is going to be necessary.
Here you can see David fighting off his back foot.
I'm at a loss sometimes.
Back foot jab.
Look
and a
at
back
what
foot
I'm
straight.
watching. I can't believe they got it.
Hi guys, this is Ethan.
It's good.
I'm a
right,
gameplay programmer here at SCI,
and
I'm here to talk
we'll
to you
here,
about
and then
the
I think I'll end it.
So
after
the feint
this.
system
right?
can
so
be
he just threw the
activated
jumping
by
left hook,
using the same
and then he cut it,
button as block,
and then he kind of like foot feinted, right? The reason that I'm so high on a feint system in the game is that when you have the ability to feint, you now force your opponent to have to read you, right? You mix reads and reactions. That is a whole different like ball game at that point. So if you have good reads, meaning that you, in order to have good reads, you have to watch your opponent extremely close. You have to watch what they're doing. You have to watch the habits that they have, the tendencies that they're doing. You really have to pay attention to them so that you can get a good read on your opponent, right? If you play reactionary base completely, you're not really paying attention to them, but you're just playing full reactions, these feints are going to destroy you.
You just tap it.
Especially seeing as how he just threw 3 different feints off of one punch. He threw a foot feint, he threw a mid-level feint, and then like a saw feint.
Do a feint.
You bite on any one of those, and you're probably going to get countered. So reads over reactions, people. I'm trying to tell you, like, it's going to be extremely important. If you're the type that's going to, if you're counter punch hungry, you're probably going to get beat up by a smarter player. So
you're throwing a punch, while you're throwing a lunging punch.
I would be careful.
You can use it
just
to
an early warning. These body shots are
a different punch completely.
The way he's throwing that body shot.
You can see here in this clip that I'm throwing.
I just love the way that it looks. I just really do. So that's really where I'm gonna stop with this. But I cannot.
And I'm here to talk to you about the feint
express
system.
enough.
So the feint system can be activated by using.
I love the ability to throw these feints. I love the way that they're moving.
Down, you just tap it.
I love the way that you're gonna have the ability to control the ring. I love how
space,
you
can use it to interrupt your punch altogether and just throw us different punch. Completely.
All of that type of stuff
so
is going to matter. Like this is just not going to be your typical
cancel the
game.
punch
Like,
after I've done.
There's going to be a whole new level.
I transfer into doing a left uppercut to the head.
So
this is useful for mixing up with your opponents so they can expect one attack from you, but you actually
probably have to do this again because there's just so much. There's just so much to grasp.
That means you have complete freedom in terms of your fighting strategy.
I'll go ahead and stop it there. To keep this from being too long, value you guys' time. Appreciate y'all for coming back. Peace.